Goodness, good evening. I'm Tina, this is To the Inner Wild. Thanks for stopping by, my most ethical light and love crew. This is open to you and exclusively you. All other energies I rebuke in the name of Jesus Christ. You know that King of Swords in reversal energy goes by many names. It's not just my ex. Oh, I forgot I dropped that into archive. But, yeah. My cat, just reaffirmed it with its behavior. Hold on a sec. Just some highly mischievous energy that only comes around when he sees that there's a benefit that he can attain from my energy. And, at this point, I've come to the realization that there's many taker type of energies rather than earners. And so, given my experience and having to deal with that type of energy, the more that they are in the motion of taking my energy or my essence or whatever, the more I'm able to pick up on their gifts. Not just identify what they are, but take them on. So, I suppose it's a blessing in disguise that I'm exposed to many corrupt energies in order to understand what it means to siphon and kind of rub that energy in their faces. So I get to take on and siphon their abilities. And that's, I think, partially why I am excellent at what I do. I've toyed with the concern on why I've applied to so many jobs, including applying to a previous fast food job and getting denied for all of it. I don't understand knowing how much power I have within these secret groups, these private, underground groups, secret societies, why they wouldn't want to hire someone like me to be that close to them. Do they not understand how much I could benefit their company? Like, how much foot traffic I could bring in just because of my power alone? Do you not understand how many investors would come through just because I'm present? People don't understand that until I leave. And I remember the fast food place that I applied to. A reason why they possibly denied me was because I was told to drop the name of the manager who's in charge of hundreds of employees, especially minors, who's a pedophile and definitely abusing his own daughter, who is, I think, a single-digit age, maybe 9, maybe 11, somewhere between 9 and 11. And the abuse goes on from, pre that age. So I'm pretty sure that's why I don't find it a good reason to protect that kind of energy. But that also tells me that they're in on some very heavy criminal activity within their secret societies or associations. And it's not just criminal regarding like money, fraud, anything like that. It's more so highly abusive situations. And so I can see why that could be an exception. Except, I don't know. Some people are just straight up unethical. But how offices, how businesses, like large-scale employers would highly benefit from me just being there. And then to employ me at the value of what my inputs are equally substantial. So it just blows my mind as to why none of the employers thus far within this year have, and we're into September now, how they couldn't validate my existence in their realm. And at this point, I don't feel like it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, that tells me how truly good and accurate I am. With what I'm doing here. So I've got a lot of things to figure out. And there's a part of me where sometimes I worry about having resentments towards spirit for what's going on and what's not. So I give myself a break, whereas it may be perceived by others as procrastination. I'm trying to temper my feelings in the process while showing some respect to those that deserve it. And I just don't understand it. So, yeah, I'm gonna figure things out. And I think it's time I come up with a price list. I gotta start somewhere. And I'm not starting low. Well, how do I say this? My prices are only gonna go up from there. But certain strategies and the whole perfectionist thing of... No, I mean... I've seen what's out there, and I've reviewed my work regularly. So I didn't know what else to say to that. But I asked Spirit, because I was wondering what to do with all of this. And I got these two decks. I wanted to ask Spirit, so what happens if I just don't follow through? If I, just for this phase, if I could just get a regular job that'll suit me until trial's over, and then I can focus on my business stuff. You know? Trial is like in November. And all the preparation for it, I've got a due date lined up, on a monthly basis that are set. But there's so much paperwork. These are not just your standard forms where like name, address, city, date, it's not just that. I already gave you a flavor of it. So I just wanted to ask Spirit, what happens? I want to know inversely what happens if I just don't follow through with all of this stuff. I mean, it seems as though I wouldn't be losing out on anything, since I don't see much coming from what's already that's funny. Okay, I'll show you in just a sec. What's already transpired. And seeing is definitely not believing, and you learn that early on within religious studies, that people who base their beliefs, reality, based on just what they see, isn't trust. It isn't a strong belief system. It's like it's cowardice instead of faith. Like, to have that cold hard evidence to say that, there is a God. So, anyway, looking down on this, I'm being reminded of that. And then more recently, that so there's all kinds of perceptions on what makes someone appear to be responsible. And so there was a little bit of a dispute fairly recently about what I may appear to be to the judge. And one of the concerns was, if I don't have a full-time job, if I'm not working full-time amount of hours, then I will appear to be not responsible. But the things that are factual include the many efforts I put forth in applying to so many variances of jobs that are mostly beneath my level, beneath my I'm even applying to very entry level jobs and still getting denied. And the cold hard fact is that nothing has transpired to full-time work. So what does that mean for a judge? To perceive me in that light? Is it the amount of money in my pocket? because I could earn it in highly unethical ways. I could obtain the money in ways that are very disgraceful and disrespectful towards my being. And would that amount of money suffice to say that it's in compensation for what I am unable to earn through other means of employment? Would that show, with the other means of obtaining money, cold hard cash, show that I'm a responsible parent? Would that give me more rights within the legal system? So again, I'm just looking at the concepts behind all of what's taking place. I am give me a second, okay?